Connor might be rude to his sister in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 16. But the episode still allows young Sheldon's spin-off to show a new sensitive side of Emily Osment's Mandy. Young Sheldon's follow-up Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is primarily concerned with the relationship between its title characters. Georgie and Mandy were happily married when young Sheldon's finale took place. But The Big Bang Theory Season 11, Episode 13, The Sibling Realignment, revealed that the couple eventually divorced sometime later. Now it is up to Georgie and Mandy's first marriage to explain this breakup. If a sitcom focusing on an eventual, inevitable breakup sounds sad, it is worth noting that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage also has Mandy's colorful family as its supporting stars. Many of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episodes focus on the family's auto shop where Georgie works with his father-in-law Jim, as well as his relationships with the rest of Mandy's family. Occasionally, this provides viewers with new insights into Mandy herself. Connor gets a girlfriend in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 16. Georgie's advice helps Connor find a love interest. In episode 16, Goddess of the Music Store, Georgie helps Connor get a date with Chloe, a singer from the music store upon whom he has a crush. The goofy, tactless Connor's overtures prove unexpectedly successful, and he ends up bringing his new love interest back to his place at the end of the evening. Of course, since Connor shares his home with his family, Mandy inevitably sees Chloe leaving the next morning. Mandy advises Connor not to take things too quickly with his new paramour, prompting an unintentionally brutal response. When Mandy expresses concern about the two moving too fast, he reassures his sister that he's not ready to have a child and ruin his life like Mandy. Connor insults Mandy's life choices in Goddess of the Music Store, when Mandy's brother uses his trademark bluntness to dismiss her fears. When Mandy expresses concern about the two moving too fast, he reassures his sister that he's not ready to have a child and ruin his life like Mandy. This moment proves that Mandy shares Georgie's sibling problem, as both characters struggle to empathize with awkward, tactless younger brothers. However, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage doesn't necessarily set up a repeat of The Big Bang Theory's tragic Georgie/Sheldon story. For all their struggles, Mandy and Connor seem less likely to end up estranged than Georgie and Sheldon. Not only are they friendly, but Connor brings out a softness in Mandy that viewers rarely see otherwise. Mandy has historically been portrayed as a tough character with a tendency to strong-arm people, including Georgie, but this exchange proves she cares about Connor's future. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 16 establishes that Mandy cares about Connor. Emily Osment's character can come off cold and callous at times. Like Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's Mima, Mandy can come across as cold and uncaring at times. The same qualities that make her tough and resilient can make her seem petty and stubborn in some situations, as highlighted in episode 8, Diet Crap. This outing saw Mandy become insecure over making less money than Georgie, only to become angry at him when he tried to help her sell the multi-level marketing fair she had purchased. Mandy's refusal to take Georgie's help gracefully, combined with her original insecurity, creates a picture of a character who can be thoughtless and dismissive unless she is in control. However, Goddess of the Music Store proves that Mandy really cares about her brother's happiness and worries about his future. For all of her toughness and apparent disregard for others, Mandy has a soft spot for Connor. That said, Connor is still closer to Georgie than the rest of his family. Why Connor is closer to Georgie than anyone else in his family? Connor's family view him as something of a misfit. Family is that Georgie has a lot of experience with eccentric siblings. Connor is arguably less challenging than Sheldon in this regard, as he is less obstinate and argumentative. For Audrey, Jim, and Mandy, Connor is much more offbeat than them, so he is treated as the black sheep of the family. For Georgie, he is much easier to get along with than his own brother, so Georgie swiftly develops a fondness for Connor. It doesn't hurt that Connor also follows his advice. Connor appreciates Georgie and thanks him for his advice in outings like Goddess of the Music Store and Episode 7, An Old Mustang. While Connor is undoubtedly odd, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's Sheldon replacement looks up to Georgie. Sheldon rarely took Georgie's advice, and even decades later in The Big Bang Theory, often dismissed his older brother as a mouth breather and a moron.